Uh, 2026, really and truly, it starts today. The real 2026 starts today. Welcome to First Sip. We're going to do it every single day. We're going to get our minds right. And I'm going to talk to my friend Freddie at Bobcat. Good morning, Freddie at Bobcat.
Good morning, Daniel Allison. What makes you think the real 2026 does not start until today? Because there was people that believed it started on the first, and if you're not one of them, you are behind.
Hey, I'm talking about the rest of the world. Everybody on this bus, we started on January 1st because we're going to make sure that we get the most out of this year. Every single day, we're going to start it right. And look who we've got this morning, Paul Pappy on the bus, ready for a 2026. Happy first sip, new year. Looking forward to it.
I
Get your
love it
mind
when you
right.
call me Paul Pappy.
That's the one that comes to mind for me too. I love it when you call me Paul Pappy. Uh, love having Paul on the bus. Love having this guy on the bus. All year we're going to do it. Red Wing Russ. He's going to sell a lot of shoes to some big companies this year.
Red Wing Russ, Red Wing Russ, Red Wing Russ.
And then finally, last but
First
not
sip,
least,
let's go!
oh, there it is. Hey, what did you think of the workout this morning?
I'm sorry, Daniel. Uh, I could be some sort of uncontrollable force this morning.
I love uncontrollable forces. When Freddie's got the uncontrollable force, when it's just an energy, when it's a vibration, when it's a frequency, it's kind of scary, but probably more exciting.
All right,
uh,
so
good,
tell us what's
Joe.
going on
Glad you
this
made it.
week at F3. What's going on at F3? Tell me.
We call it Hell Week, 2026 Hell Week.
Woo!
And if you've ever watched the Navy SEALs, the Buds, obviously this F3, we kind of try to be a little military in the vibe and the language. And so we're starting 2026 with 6 straight days of workouts. And hey, thanks, Joe. Love to see that coming in. Proud to be on the bus this new year, 2026. It's going to be a great year, y'all. It's going to be a great year. And I'm excited to do this with you. But first sip, F3 this morning, it's going to be a rough week, but it's going to be a good week. Paul says to hell with that.
That's what I was thinking about halfway through the workout, Paul Pappy.
Yeah. What did you think about those man makers?
Very solid exercise. You take a concrete block, a cinder block, and you basically do a burpee with a press. You don't jump, you go down, press. Whew.
Hey, there's the blocks. What do you think of that?
Yeah, that was mine right there in the front. Is the heaviest one of the bunch, I think.
Come on now. I will say one of those young guys grabbed my block there at the end and he said, man, you got one of the heavy ones.
What'd he say?
He said, you've got one of, sorry, I know every time I change my voice, we lose audio. And I hate that because I changed my voice so much. He said, you've got one of the heavy blocks.
Oh, he was trying to make an old man feel good, wasn't
he? No, it was heavy. It was heavy. Good morning, Gary. Gary's back at work. Great to have Gary on the bus as well. Hey, I want to ask you something. This is something that has been on my mind, and I got to get this comment down. Sorry. And so you go out to eat, and you told me that you make a good steak, but you do like going out to eat. Let's say you go out to eat and everybody's got their food. You've ordered a steak. You're super hungry. They put the food down in front of you, and it's not to your liking.
Yeah.
You've got a steak that is not like you ordered it.
Yeah.
Do you send them back the steak?
I do. And I will ask the server, if I'm ordering a steak, tell me about your chef tonight. Do they typically undercook a steak, overcook a steak? They know. All you got to do is ask. They'll give you a little info, and then you can order
I
from
like
there.
I like that. I have never heard anyone say that to me before. Take back the steak. I've never heard anybody do it that way. That sorry, y'all. You prefaced it by saying basically taking the pressure off of them. Hey, I don't want to complain later because this is not to my liking. Tell me your experience. That's a fantastic question. When did you
Yeah.
start doing that?
Oh, a couple years ago.
Yeah. Is that because you had sent back so many steaks?
Yeah, because it gets sketchy sometimes. Like, hey, sometimes mediums well, sometimes mediums bloody. I don't like a bloody steak. Let me just go ahead and tell you that.
No, no. Well, you're someone that knows what they want and probably many things. But when it comes to steaks, you know what a good steak is. You've cooked your own. And so in your mind, you know what you want. You've paid money. You want to get what you wanted, what you paid
That's
for.
it. Yeah, yeah,
But now the reason that I bring this up, we talk about calling it like it is and or different personality types. And I can say if I get something that's not quite right, I don't want to put the waiter and the waitresses through it all. I don't want to make everybody at the table uncomfortable because I'm saying, hey, and maybe I didn't, maybe I don't know, maybe the way that I thought that the steak should have been done, maybe I didn't communicate it right. That's how my mind would do.
No, but so everybody wants to get what they paid for.
You do, absolutely, you do, and I'm kind of expressing that, but I think it's for anything. But go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
anything. Yeah. So if you're at a table with somebody, it's okay to send it back because it's not what you paid for.
I agree. I agree, and I have observed because I like to observe people. I've observed people that are similar to you, and Swanee, I've been out to eat with some people. They've never got it right. I have been I have been
Yeah.
to every type of restaurant, and we're not talking about just steaks. Like this person, now they know what they want. This is a successful person as well. So I think that it's important to know what we want and to get what we want, especially when that's set up. But I think it is an interesting kind of dilemma sometimes. It brings our
Yeah.
personalities into it.
It does. And if there is something wrong with your order, your steak, handle it with a good attitude. Because if you get nasty attitude and you send it back, your steak is coming back to you with fecal matter on it.
Yes, yes.
So be
I,
nice.
hey, I will say this. Y'all know I know people that have worked in the restaurant business. Be careful about that. Uh, I would say that this also. How about this? You have somebody come out. They mow the lawn. They wash your car. Are you strict on the way on the job, the performance? Hey, I thought you were. Do you pick it apart or do you easy on vendors at your home?
I expect what I'm paying for, and that is typically communicated in advance. Communication will solve a lot of these issues.
Communication, and that's what we were going to talk about this morning, but that popped into my head because a lot of times, it's things like this, having uncomfortable conversations. If you want to sell something, learn to have uncomfortable conversations,
Yeah,
right?
just go try to have uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah, there is a difference. So anytime we start a conversation, right? Any type of kind of the pressure is on us. We're asking someone to the party. We're asking the girl on the date. We're asking for the meeting. We're asking for the appointment. We're We're the seeker. We're the one that's looking for something. That can be uncomfortable. And that's what we feel when we're trying to sell our goods and services. But now for me, I have trained myself through the years when it comes to making a cold call, walking into a situation, maybe even giving a speech. I'm willing to do that. It scares me, but I'm willing to kind of do that. When it comes to an uncomfortable conversation about getting a steak, you don't want me to do this. And so I think that it's interesting though, because there's different types of personality. This is why we talk about self-awareness, knowing your skills, knowing what would be the right situation where you're going to maximize your personality.
Well, let's just say you're at some sort of medical appointment.
Uh-huh.
You know, could it may be, hey, a wellness check, I'm getting my eyes checked, whatever it may be. And it just so happens the lady that's giving you the paperwork is having a terrible day. And she has a really bad attitude. And she is short and nasty with you a couple different times. How do you handle that?
I have gotten better at that through the years. I've gotten much better at that through the years. You know, something that's interesting, a lot of times, sure, those sorts of things, they frustrate me really bad. And the way, you know, they call it passive aggressive, that's not a good thing. But when we kind of, you know, it's like placate, play nice, and then blow up, right? Or get upset or get emotional. That's actually the worst possible situation. Right. So I've had this happen. I will share a story. I was down in Columbia. We were doing this show the next day. I went and stayed at a hotel. I've stayed at this hotel up here. I actually love the hotel. Everything has been so smooth. The reason that I love it, they make it so easy. I don't have to remember anything, and I'm not the greatest about that, right? So I kind of came in, and a lot of times they'll work with you because I'm one to kind of ingratiate myself to get a little help to kind of, hey, I didn't get this done. Long story short, the lady comes around the corner. She had the worst. I thought, why does she hate me so much? You know, it's like you are. I'm getting ready to give you a, you know, whatever this is for this room for one night. I'm trying to be pleasant. I'm not asking you to be, you know, I used to think, oh, you need to match my energy. You need to be in a great mood, you know, and
At minimum, do your job.
But try to have a good attitude. I mean, just get it up to lukewarm, you know, just I'll be happy with lukewarm. I mean, that is cold, but you wonder, I wondered, I said something that day. And when I said something, Freddie, I could feel like, everything, your nervous system changes, right? Your breathing gets fast. And I ended up saying something, and she ended up saying something back. And then she stood over there with the bad attitude while, you know, she was a manager and someone else was doing the transaction. I said, did we really have to do that? You know, I mean, but at that point, the heart rate was coming down. You know, it was like, and it's like, wow, why as human beings, you know, you get out on the road, you talk about driving, you talk about walking in. I'm just trying to get a dog. Can I not just get a protein shake? And I've always had good experience there. Don't apply to that. But can I not just go in and get this thing without someone having a bad attitude or being too negative?
Yeah. That is what we battle daily.
That's what we battle every single day. And that is exactly why we do this right here. We're modeling this on the Energy Bus by John Gordon. If you haven't read the book, George was having a bad year at home, at work, but then he got on a bus and the bus driver was named George. He didn't want to get on that bus. He had a successful career. He felt like, ashamed to have to go get on that bus. He got on that
I
bus.
have to ride the bus.
He was a successful guy. And
What
then
are
he got
people
on
going to
there.
think about me because I'm riding the bus?
That's right. And he got on there, and then Joy had that good attitude. Man, I wish she would shut up. The real world is serious business. That was his attitude the first day. The real world is serious business. I've got things to do, you know. And they worked on him, and they got him to put a smile on his face, and he crushed it. He had the greatest 2026 ever.
So I think that is a perfect final thought. Go put a smile on somebody's face today.
I love
Even when it's difficult. Do it.
Ooh, now we're talking big time challenge. See y'all tomorrow live, 7:55. Get your mind right. First sip.